So we're here at Utah podcast studio, South Jordan, Utah today, veteran claim experts. If you guys don't know who we are, we're a general contractor. My name is Brandon Byers. I own the company. This is Charlotte Whiting.
Hi.
She is my fiance / best worker that I have working for me. Shout out to Mike too. So yeah, guys, what we want to do is we want to introduce us to the Utah populace. We've been in business for about 3 years now. We're starting to see a lot of issues, primarily with homeowners that have wind damage on their roof in this area. We haven't had a lot of wind damage in this area in the last year or so. However, there are still homeowners that have, I don't know, how many houses do you see when we go out? I don't know, a dozen, 2 dozen or so.
Oh, always. I mean, when we're driving around, our eyes are so trained to just notice it now. And people don't realize that just one shingle or anything, we can help you with that.
Yeah. So we're a like we said, we're a general contractor. We've been in the roof space for about 3 years. I got in this industry, just so you know a little bit about my background. I did 10 years in a special operations unit called the 160th Night Stalkers. We're a special operation aviation regiment. Their headquarters out of Fort Campbell. I did 10 years in Savannah, Georgia. About 12 to 13 deployments. So I use that same, expert knowledge base, the tenacity that we used to use in special operations, to be an advocate for you in your situation with your home. And that's what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the way that a claim should go in the state of Utah, our experiences. We might give you some knowledge that'll help you out. If you're a homeowner that has some wind damage, you're cutting your grass outside, you see a shingle in your yard, give us a call. We're going to come out, and this is the biggest thing. Please do not let a roofer, somebody knocks on your door, a roofing company says they're a roofer, anything like that. Don't let these people on your roof. Do not let anyone on your roof until your adjuster, after you filed a claim, if you think you got wind damage, don't let anybody up there. You don't know what they're going to do up there. Watch them while they're up there. How many times have you seen it? We've been out in the neighborhood knocking. Somebody pulls shingles off a roof.
Yep. We've heard about it at other companies, and they just want to get claims in your business. So they'll go up there, they'll pull off shingles, they'll show you a photo and say, look, you have missing shingles, you have damage, let us help you.
Yeah. That's vandalism, guys. Now, you as a homeowner, you can still file a claim. We can reach out to us. We'll explain the vandalism claim on your roof at that point. But what we do is we don't even touch your roof. What we want to do is we want to document for the insurance company. So we're going to put our drone up. We're going to take some photos and let them know, hey, we got some wind damage. So the way it should work in the state of Utah, you contact your insurance company, whoever it is. We're going to get to the point where you've gotten in touch with a roofer, and that roofer is showing up at your house. What they should be doing is they should be documenting and finding out what date this wind damage happened, right?
Yep.
Because that's where it starts. You're telling a story to the insurance company, and you want to make sure that all your documentation is correct, it's thorough, and it's packaged in a way that the insurance companies are used to seeing it. We send in reports all the time, and I mean, we get a turnaround for an approval extremely quickly in most cases.
Knowing the right way to word it to your insurance company goes a long way. While you do pay them every month, they're not necessarily an advocate for you.
No.
They don't want to pay out on things. They don't want to help you, even if they claim they do. So having an outside source that is an advocate for you really goes a long way.
Yep. And because we are a general contractor, we are heavily experienced with code. And that is the big difference with most roofing companies. How do they interpret code? How do they help other people interpret that code? The way that I interpret code and the way that I relay the code is very different than most people in this industry. Some people like it, some people don't, but I'm a very factual based person. So I make sure that you guys, all the facts get over to the adjuster as quick as they possibly can so that they can make a determination so that we can find a path forward that best suits the homeowner. Because at the end of the day, the most important person is the person that hired us to work. And that's you. That's the homeowner. What we want to do is put you in the best situation to win. We don't like to lose this. It does not help you. This is the biggest part of this. And a lot of people don't know this. You get a roofer out there that's like, yeah, you got wind damage, but they can't show you. Or they say, hey, you got hail damage. And we'll put some photos up and show you guys what we're really looking for. But there is a point where somebody could just get you to sign a claim, Your adjuster comes out, he looks at the roof, it's heat blistering. And we'll show you differences like you've seen it.
Yeah.
Heat blistering and hell can look very
similar.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can look almost identical. So having someone that truly knows the difference, because if you're filing claims that aren't legit with your insurance, it's not going to get you very far. And you're going to have bigger issues down the line.
Not only that, but when let's say you come out, you go out, the adjuster comes out, files that claim, right? You're going to get to a point, if you don't have a payout on that, even if it's $1, even if it's $10, if you have a claim where you don't have any proof, you can't prove to the insurance company that your claim doesn't have damage, that they don't have coverage in this situation, that's going to be a zero payout claim. Because of that, so let's say that I'm an insurance company, I've got this property right here, right? If this property doesn't seem like it's worth a crap, because at the end of the day, if you have a claim that pays out zero money, that means that you had a situation that the insurance company is not responsible for. So it increases the chances of them being liable for something else in the future. So they're going to jack your rates up. Your policy premiums are probably going to go up 30, 40, sometimes 60% from what we've seen. So our intent here today really is to educate homeowners and let you guys know that we're here to help you guys. Not every, I know there's bad roofers out there. We know that there's bad contractors out there. We've seen them, we've worked with them. But we want to put you guys in a position where you're going to succeed. You're not going to have a situation that's uncomfortable for you. It's a lengthy amount of time. Sometimes it can take a little while. We do our best job to make sure that we get you guys across the finish line as fast as we possibly can. That could be things like an ITEL, proper inspection being done, shingle analysis on whether or not it's repairable, or repairability test.
Yep.
These are all things that we use in our tool belt to help you guys out. And that's where we're going to go. So let's get into this. What we're going to do is I'm going to pull up a website and we're going to kind of go through, and Charlotte's going to simulate kind of like she's the homeowner.
Okay.
And I'm the roofing contractor.
Perfect.
Okay, Charlotte. So we've got your house here. Let's just pretend for all intents and purposes, you own a home in Lehi, right?
Okay.
Right. Let's just we actually used to live in Lehi. So let's just use our house in Lehi, right?
Perfect.
All right. So it is January 10th, 11th, whatever it is. And wind comes through and let's say that your front patio furniture that cost you $2,000 got blown out in the street. Somebody hit it with a car or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
So your patio furniture is damaged.
Okay.
You're out there looking at it. While you're looking, you see some shingles got blown off. So you call a roofing contractor, right? I show up.
Okay.
Hey, Charlotte, how's it going? I see you got some wind damage here. What do you want to do?
Well, I don't know. What are my options? I mean, it needs to get fixed. I don't want to have a leak in my house.
Right. That's a great question. So what we could do in most cases like this, we tarp the roof at the very minimum. We normally don't get on the roof until after the drone has photos. We timestamp those photos with the drone so that way they can see, hey, there was nothing wrong with it before they got up there. So that's probably what we do in that situation. We would look at, we get online. There's a website that we can use. Contact us if you need some help. If you got a roofer that needs help finding out a storm date, we don't mind helping out with that. But we're going to find out that today, hey, boom, it's on there. It says 70-mile-an-hour winds in the area, winter snowstorm, whatever it is, came through, ripped those shingles off. So there's three paths this can go down, really, and this is what we see. So we see that thing like the issue. You got a bad roofer that showed up. He didn't know what he was doing. He got you to file a claim. You didn't have wind damage, right? That's a zero payer. That's the worst situation you could possibly have. And
there's still times too where you could have damage and your insurance could still say, oh, we didn't find anything. So that's where having an advocate for you and knowing, is my damage legit or not, is worth it before you file the claim. Because insurance times will come back and be like, well, there's nothing there. We're not going to pay out on anything. Yep. And that's a way they can just try to avoid the situation altogether.
The other paths are a repair estimate. So let's say we get up there, right? We see, 4 or 5 damaged shingles. So we get that covered on the loss. We get the tarp covered on the loss that damages a couple more. So let's say all intents and purposes, we got 10 wind damage shingles.
Okay.
So at that point, they're going to send you, like I said, a repair estimate. Exactament is what they call. That's what most companies use nowadays. Is Exactament. You'll see it's a computer software. We can get into that too if you need to. Give us a call. But that puts you. They send you an email. We'll talk about that in a second. The other one is they give you full approval off the bat.
Yep.
The guy gets up there.
Best case situation.
We got two highs. We got a high and a low here, right? So the best possible situation for you is the adjuster shows up. We're able to meet him there, which we don't normally do. Adjusters don't like roofers, honestly. Yeah. I mean, my job is to take money out of his company's pocket at the end of the day. I don't mean that rudely and harshly, but in all intents and purposes, that's the logic of what's going on.
Yeah.
They're going to pay for you to get a new roof, and you only have to pay your deductible. So they're going to fight as hard as they possibly can to prevent that from happening. And these are the situations. As long as you have the knowledge and know-how and willing to do it, you can get this done. So that situation is probably the best one. Mm-hmm. You show up, the adjuster gets up on the roof. We're going to talk about repairability 9 times out of 10, but there's a very important part today that most Utah homeowners don't know about, and that is R590-190-13. That is the Utah Admin Code for standards for prompt, fair, and equitable settlement for fire and extended excuse me. Let me try that again. Utah Admin Code R590-190-13. You guys can Google this. Standards for prompt, fair, and equitable settlement for fire and extended coverage type policies with replacement cost. What does that mean? Right? All right. So that means, now this is important too. So when we meet you guys, we love to come out. At the very minimum, we'd like to just look at your policy. If you guys haven't had anybody review your policy with you in a while, let's take a look at it, because there's a lot of companies right now doing a lot of shady stuff. Like, we're not going to say it, but a lot of these companies that do the shadiest things have the word state in them. So
that's pretty true. There's a couple others too.
State or the word farm.
And there are some companies that the policy you originally signed up with was a great policy. And then if you've been with them for 5 or 10 years, they immediately, without even telling you, change your coverage because your roof is of a certain age from when you signed up. They're like, oh yeah, we're not going to tell you that we're no longer paying for depreciation. We're just going to change it. And then when you actually need it, it's like, too bad, so sad you don't have it anymore.
Yep. Which is called what?
An RCV policy.
ACV policy.
Oh, sorry, ACV policy.
So when we break down insurance company or insurance policies, and what we'll do, I think our next episode is going to be looking at somebody's insurance. Like, maybe we'll bring in a customer we've helped out so you guys can see. We'll take a look at their policy. We'll see why they got a victory or why they got a loss or whatever it may be.
Totally.
But ACV is called actual cash value. So that's what the price of the roof costs, right? Just where it's at. Mm-hmm. Replacement cost value, that's a different story. So that's the way that the insurance companies have, what's the best way to word this? It used to be they just show up and write you a check. You had homeowners insurance, they'd show up, they give you a check, you get your roof done or not.
Yes. So nowadays, the best policy you want is an ACV RCV policy, because each roof has an actual cash value, right? After depreciation and life happens, like what your roof is worth. Now, you want a policy that has RCV because that's your depreciation. That's where you'd actually be able to afford
replacement cost
value of your whole entire roof. So the insurance company, what they typically do is the first check is the actual cash value. So they take away the depreciation, and that's your initial check to get the work done. And then they won't send out the rest until you have sent in photos and documentation. Normally your roofer will do that for you, that the work has been complete.
Yep. And that's important here, because R590-190-13, it's not enforceable unless you have RCV coverage. So unless you have a good, most of the time, I don't like to say this, but like I said, that policy is very important. Mm-hmm. Let's take a look at it. Let's review it with you. We're not public adjusters. We're not trying to portray ourselves like one either, but we know what we're looking at. We've done this for a long time.
We want to set you up for the most success you can have in the best case scenario from the get-go.
So let's get into this a little bit. So this admin code, this is what helps us help you. So the state of Utah got together, and my thoughts are they got this from Texas. Texas has, a lot of states actually have the same wording pretty much. So I'm going to read an excerpt here. So it says here, if a loss requires repair or replacement of an item or part, so that could be a shingle, any significant physical damage incurred in making such repair or replacement not otherwise excluded by the policy shall be included in the loss. that means that if I have this damaged shingle here and it's really worn out, and when I start to lift the shingle, it starts to tear, that is, it's consequential. Sorry, consequential.
Oh, consequential. Yes.
Consequential damage.
Yes.
Gosh, man. Okay, so that's what that's called, guys. That's what I was thinking about. So if I've got, so let's look at this. So let's say that this one little piece, see where my hand is here, this piece of plywood or wood right here, let's say it's a shingle, right? And the one next to it, and these are all messed up. They're weathered. We'll show you a picture of what we're talking about. But their house looks like fiberglass. Looks like it's reflective almost, right? You can't make a repair on that. That's just not going to happen. It's not your fault that the insurance company probably should have switched you over to an ACV policy 5 or 6 years ago, but you still got an RCV policy. That's their problem.
Yep.
So we can't make a repair on that. That might be conditions for a full replacement.
Now, with talking about that, though, just because you see fiberglass and all that doesn't necessarily mean that there's initial damage to begin with. That means your roof's unrepairable, but insurance only covers weather-related losses or act of God claims.
Direct physical loss.
Yes.
Unless it's consequent. Then we get in.
Yes, but there has to be direct physical loss first for there to be any consequential damage.
So in this situation, this is really important. Here's another one. This is if the loss requires repair or replacement of items and the repaired or replaced items do not match in color, texture, or size, the insurer shall repair or replace items to conform to a reasonably uniform appearance of both interior and exterior losses. So this could be somebody's floor. This could be your carpet. Not only is this a shingle, but maybe your decking's not made anymore. Maybe your hip and ridge isn't made anymore, or your underlayment, whatever it may be. They have to make sure. And then also, too, we'll show you some excerpts from IRC. That's a whole different story in itself. We can get that. We should probably do an episode on just IRC itself.
That's totally fine.
But Chapter 9 says that you have to have compatible material at the end of the day.
Yep.
And most manufacturers, we can get into manufacturers in an episode. However, here's a little bit. If you go to any manufacturer nowadays, you grab their packaging from a retail store. Most of their packaging is going to say, do not mix. I don't care. It doesn't matter why they say do not mix. It doesn't matter who said don't mix it. I'm not mixing it.
Nope.
The packaging tells me not to. So as much as the insurance companies want me to, I'm not going to violate code. I'm not going to deviate code to help their pocketbook out. That's just not how we do things. So it doesn't help you. It doesn't help me. I mean, I could lose my license.
So going back for a second to kind of help understand it maybe in a simpler way of what you were saying, when you're talking about carpet and flooring, right? Utah is known as a matching state. So if we cannot find something that, like it said in the thing,
It's not really a matching state, though.
It's not.
No, there's states out there that actually. So we're not a true matching state.
Oh, okay.
There are states. I think Idaho is one of them. There's some states left out there. It has to be an exact match. Like if it's not.
So this one's just reasonable uniform.
This is reasonable uniform. Now this is the problem for somebody that's been in the military for 10 years. What do you think uniform means to me, and what do you think uniform means to her?
Yeah.
Two completely different things. So it's also the interpretation, because I think uniform appearance is dress right, dress. I was in the military for 10 years. You got to stand next to, look exactly like the next guy next to you, dress right, dress. So,
well, and a big thing we've learned with insurance companies, you could take a photo on the roof, right, of a new shingle versus an old shingle. It'll look different.
Yeah.
But what they care about is what it looks like from the street. Can you tell from the street that it looks different?
That's what they're going to try to.
Yeah.
There's nothing in the rule book anywhere that says.
No, of course not.
No, they will. We know all their tactics, though. We're getting real smart with this stuff. And if there's an adjuster out there that wants to have a conversation with us about this, we'd love to, man.
Totally.
I would, or if you're local and you want to come on and talk to us on the show, I'd love to do that too.
Absolutely.
But this is, like I said, we're just here. We want to help homeowners out. We want to put this information out for you guys. There's a lot of stuff here that we could get into and keep going down and down the hole of. But at the end of the day, it's whether or not you guys are comfortable working with us. And that's what we want to do. If you guys have a situation where you see a neighbor on the street, I don't care what it is, we do referral fees. So for a $300 referral fee, you can make $300 just sending us to your neighbor. I mean, we pay it out at the end once we've been paid from the insurance company, everything's closed out, but you would get that referral fee.
Yep.
So that's kind of where we're at with that. It's a great process, though.
It is.
Getting your roof replaced and having your insurance cover it I think that's the best way to do it. You get to pick out new shingle colors. You get to pick the person that does your roof. You get to pick the manufacturer of the shingles that go. You should. I'll tell you this. We use GAF products. I think GAF has one of the best warranties out there. They have a $0 transfer fee. We're big fans of Ballard in the Utah area. Shout out to Bo. He's always there for us. GAF has never left us hanging. We've never had a single GAF.
They're really great about asking questions. If we have any questions we need answered, or just, I mean, we've put that on for how long now?
3 years.
And we've had no issues with them. They've been great.
Sleep at night. We don't get phone calls at 2 o'clock in the morning.
No.
Hey, my shingles fell off. That doesn't happen with GAF.
No, not at all.
I'm not going to speak bad of any other companies in public. However, I wouldn't use anybody else. And there's a reason for it. Their warranty, $0 transfer fee, like I said, but their warranty also says, now nobody else does this. If I install, now I am a certified GAF installer. However, if I didn't install your shingles correctly, because GAF trusts their products so much, and they've actually tested it without nails on roofs and they don't blow off in 60-mile-an-hour winds. However, they're going to honor their warranty even if I don't put those shingles on correctly. Who else does that? Nobody else does that.
No, not at all.
Nobody trusts their product that much.
And they also have a unlimited wind
warranty
so,
on the GAF HDZ shingles.
Yes, not all their shingles, certain ones, but it saves you the hassle of, let's say you did have missing shingles before that 10 year. Is it 10 year? Or
10 year? What?
The
Unlimited?
warranty?
It's a 15-year unlimited.
15 year, okay. So let's say, Utah has unpredictable weather. If something were to happen before then, they'll cover it. And you don't have to go back to your insurance and have that same fight.
No. And they're easy. I mean, I had a presidential roof, a $50,000 presidential roof that I called Bo. The homeowner wasn't happy with the color. Bo delivered new shingles bundles to get the color correct. So that, there was black shingles, and the problem with black shingles is they sit out in the sun in the supplier's parking lot on these pallets, and the sun cooks them and dries them out, and it changes their color. Heck, sometimes they look like the color of my shirt, and they're supposed to be black. So
I feel like there's also no true black shingle anymore.
No, they're charcoal.
Yes.
They're charcoal.
So, but yeah, they're close.
Yeah. But, that's, what else we want to talk about? Oh, deductible. Let's talk about deductibles here. Okay. A lot of people that we've been working with lately. So you have to pay your deductible to your contractor because your insurance was involved and they paid it out. I'm sorry, it's not the greatest situation. If we don't collect a deductible, we could lose our license.
Yep.
We could be investigated by the Department of Insurance. There's a lot of things that we could get in trouble for. However, what we try to do is we try to pay back a little bit. $500 for a street sign or a sign in your yard seems completely reasonable for me and my tax account, IRS, so forth and so on. So what we can do is give you a small chunk back for letting us put a sign in your yard. Now, let's say that somebody sees that sign, scans it, sets up an appointment. They live down the street from you. I'm like, hey, that's how I heard about you guys. Well, that person is going to send you $300. So therefore, if you got $1,000 deductible, we just ate up $800. You're paying $200 for a new roof. Who can beat that?
Yeah, that's true.
And it's completely reasonable. It's completely legal, and it helps the community out. So that's what our biggest goal here is. We want to go into areas where people don't know anything. People have roofers that probably, this is the problem too, that some insurance companies do. They're hiring these contractors. They're getting the contractors in their back pocket so that when they send them out to look at a roof so that they don't have to have their adjuster look at it, they can say, oh, well, we repaired that roof for $200 and it looks like crap. Honestly, there's one company. I won't say their name, but something about a river. They're hard to work with sometimes.
Yeah, they are. And some companies, another big thing I think we should maybe talk about is patching your roof.
Ooh.
I think that's a really good hole to kind of go down.
If you want to patch your roof, if you want to patch your property, do it right, please. Do it so that it meets the state requirements. Mm-hmm. If you don't want a roofer on your roof, I get it, man. I totally understand it. You own your property. You're probably a handyman. You don't want anybody touching your stuff. I totally understand it. However, but please do it right. Please don't put blue shingles on a red roof. Please don't put black shingles on a brown roof.
We see it all the time. We like to call them rainbow roofs because sometimes you drive by and you're like, wow, they have 4 different colors on the roof from how many times they patched it. And when you patch your roof incorrectly and not up to code, it's really hard for a contractor to come in afterwards and help you.
Yeah,
like
it is.
If you are trying to file an insurance claim and get that covered, they're going to fight that a lot harder.
Yeah.
And you're going to end up having to pay out of pocket for your whole roof.
Well, why do you? Let's talk about the unfortunate thing. The truth about this is, I agree with them. If you go out and break a law, if I go out and speed in my truck and a cop pulls me, I'm going to get a ticket. You know, if you go on your roof and you put a completely different color, if I put, red with black or whatever it is, it's not reasonably uniform to start with. Mm-hmm. So how can you put the expectation on the insurance company to create a reasonable uniform appearance when you never had one in the first place? So there's ways around that. We can go out. Who says that you can't take those shingles off and put the correct ones on there before you file a claim? There's nothing out there. You're supposed to take care of your property. Your homeowner's policy probably tells you in most situations that you should be taking care of your property, that you should be doing repairs. So you need to use that, but do it the right way. Don't do it the wrong way. Don't get up there. I mean, I'm not going to take a Toyota apart and put it on a Ford.
Yep.
Unless it's a 2JZ and I put the motor in I don't know, whatever. But you see where I'm going with that. It's
totally.
Yeah.
I guess what are some hesitations homeowners have typically?
Ooh, that's a good one.
I think that could be kind of something
hesitations or lies. Nothing personal, guys. I knock doors quite a lot. When I'm out there talking, sometimes you'll get some crazy stories. Or you'll just get hand gestures. I've knocked on somebody's door one time and somebody answered the door. Didn't say anything, just.
Well, regardless of that side of things, how about after the claim is filed, the hesitations of the process or even wanting to file a claim?
Ooh, hesitations on filing a claim. What's the biggest one? What do you think I think the biggest hesitation for homeowners filing a claim is their policy premiums going up.
Yeah. We hear that a lot.
Yes.
Oh, I don't want to file it because they're going to drop me or my policy price is going to go up higher. So what is the point of paying for insurance? I know it's legally required to have insurance.
Yeah.
But why pay for something that's supposed to cover you in these instances and then you never use it?
So I'm gonna explain this the best way I can. I think that people that have homeowners insurance, that pay for homeowners insurance, that never use it, it's like buying a new vehicle and not using the warranty. I'll bet you $20 if you bought a new car, if you're a homeowner that has and that motor broke down, you're going to go get a new motor.
Well, we could relate that to our own vehicle.
Yeah, let's not do that.
But point being, why spend all thousands of, getting weather related damages covered is not cheap. It can be if you do it wrong, but to do it the correct way by code is typically not cheap.
No.
And you have a policy that covers those things to help you out in those instances, and people are afraid to use it.
Well, they're afraid to use it because they're probably scared of big insurance companies.
Well, we've also seen, just full disclosure out there, right? People who have filed claims that have been dropped or other things. But I think they would have been dropped anyway.
Yeah,
they had nothing to do with them filing a claim.
No.
And
most of those situations are people these are the situations that it looks like fiberglass up there. Those are the situations, guys. Make sure, once a year, I really don't care if you do business with us or not. I don't. If you watch the video, you want to comment, we'd love to hear from you. Maybe we can help you out. But we just want to put knowledge out there today. That's all we're doing with this video. If we seem like we're somebody you want to work with, bring it over. We'll take a look at it. But we're not gonna be able to. Don't expect us to make apple pie out of a. I don't mean to be rude or anything, but if you've got a really messed up roof that you never should have had insurance coverage from the start, you got to be reasonable. There has to be some reason with some people. I guess that's setting the barometer for them, though. Hey, your roof is not going to be covered on your insurance. I'm sorry, but this damage is 10 years old.
They may cover some of it. They may cover none of it, but you have to be prepared for that. But that's not the standard case for most roofs.
No, it's not.
You don't see roofs every day that are so damaged that insurance won't.
Right.
cover.
No, this is just a time that we can talk about the things that we see, try to educate homeowners, try to put some knowledge out there in this space, because when we look on YouTube, we don't see this stuff. We don't
No.
see anybody sitting down, sharing this information, talking about this information. And this should be out there. These are, we helped what? I don't know, 300 homeowners, probably roughly 100 people every year.
Probably.
So less than 500 people or so. We want to bump those numbers way up. But
Yeah. And just giving people knowledge to be confident in the process and confident in having a house up to code.
not only that, but you should know what your policy says.
Oh, absolutely.
You know, that's going to help you out in the future. If you know the difference between a burst and a leak or whatever your policy says, you can, okay, instead of going through a claim, I know I'm not going to go through it. I'm just going to call my buddy that's a plumber, you know,
Yeah,
whatever.
exactly.
And because we're a general contractor, if you guys need a plumber, we know a great, shout out to Mark Anderson, Utah Valley Plumbing. If you guys need I've got a great insurance guy, Jordan Wayborn, he's in Sandy. That's another thing. Let's talk about the benefits of doing your roof for a second. Let's talk about that.
So people always say, right, well, what if my premiums go up? Your premiums go up every year, regardless if you file a claim or not. So how do you think having a brand new roof on your house would change your premiums and your policy?
I would assume a word liability would come into play. And if you have a new roof, brand new with a warranty, I don't think the insurance company is going to be as liable as they would if your roof was 30 years old and it's falling apart.
Yep.
So I'd be willing to bet your premium is going to be a little bit lower.
Absolutely.
Now with that, people always need to remember your premiums. Like I said, don't go out there and let some chuck in a truck come out to your roof, put some tar down or something. It's not going to benefit you in the long term. You're going to pay for it eventually. Your premiums could go down. We've seen a lot of times. How many times have we sent Jordan Wayborn, a homeowner? We've replaced their roof. They've seen the process with us. They know the quality of people that we like to work with and work for. And they're like, yeah, let's give Jordan an opportunity to see how much. And they save their self. It might not be much. When you're talking $200 or $300 over 6 months, though, that's, if you got one kid, that's an extra two pairs of shoes.
Yeah.
Like that.
We see a lot of people too that after they have gone through the process and maybe their rates aren't what they want, they'll shop the price around.
Yeah.
And typically you can find pretty good price. I get being loyal to a company you've been with for a while, but if they aren't helping you out anymore, would you stay? I don't know how to.
Let me explain.
Yeah.
Let me spin it like this. For the last, I don't know, and this is, I'm going to put my tinfoil hat on here for a second. So if you don't like what I'm about to say, conspiracy, stuff like that, I get it. But the reality of the situation is, how many hurricanes did Florida experience in the year of 2025?
I have no idea.
How many hit landfall, do you think?
It was like 3 or something, wasn't it?
I don't think it was any.
Oh, really? Oh, that hit landfall.
That actually, well, this is where I'm going with this. So the insurance companies, to my knowledge, they didn't experience any hurricanes this year. So if I'm in Utah.
Oh, I guess that was 2024. There was a lot, huh?
There was a lot in 2024.
What? There wasn't any last year.
There wasn't any last year, from my understanding. I could be, like I said, I could be wrong. My phone's not pulling it up. I don't think they had any hurricanes last year.
Okay.
So if I live in Utah and I have State Farm, right? Probably the biggest insurance provider in the
one of them,
United States. It would be kind of concerning when you see all these people, and this is what we're experiencing. This is another reason we kind of want to do this. We've seen a lot of, in the last 12 months or so, because Utah doesn't have as much weather right now. We haven't had a weather-related event, like a huge one, in probably a little over a year, which is abnormal from the weather climate that you have here.
Yeah, it is.
Now, on the other side of the world, why would it be hard to get payouts on claims? Like, you know, and we're not the company that tries to get BS pushed through.
No.
We're not showing up if you got one wind damage shingle and getting 60 squares worth of roof replaced. Have we done that? Yes, we have. We can do it, but that's not my intent. My intent is not to get an insurance company to pay for your roof based off one shingle.
No.
That's not fair, not reasonable.
We're here to help people who have actual problems with their house and their roof and need it fixed.
Yeah. So it just seems kind of suspicious that an insurance company, biggest one in the United States, they don't have a lot of expenses and they don't pay out a lot after that.
No,
So what's going on?
they're kind of all like that, unfortunately.
Well,
They-
we could get into the United States government not paying them for 45 days or so, but let's not be.
Let's not go there.
But I mean, this is the reality, you know, and this is the world that we live in nowadays. And you need to protect yourself. You need to go out there. You need to get yourself knowledge. You need to understand that there's people out there that do want to help you. There are good people out in, especially Utah. There's so many good roofers in Utah, not just us.
Yeah.
If you're too far away from us, you're down south in St. George or something, we probably know somebody that can help you out. We travel all the way up to Ogden. We go east to Park City. We go west to Tooele. We go south to Spanish Fork pretty much. If there's somebody a little bit further that sees this and maybe you're working with a roofer, I'll help the guy. You know, like there's going to be a fee for it, obviously. But if your roofer needs help and you see us and you're like, hey, this guy might be able to help me, reach out. Give us a call.
Absolutely.
We're not unreasonable people.
No, not at all.
We're not here we want to help and knowledge everybody. Knowledge is power. So.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So that's where we're at. I do want to take a couple minutes here, and I don't know if this footage will ever get out, but I want to thank anybody for ever investing in me. You know, this lady across here on this table has put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into this, and I thank her every day, and I thank you. So
Thank you.
my parents, family, everybody, friends. So yeah, but I think that's a good starting point. I think we've gone over a lot today.
And if there's any questions that anyone has that you want to drop in the comments for next episode, anything you have questions about, you want to know, you just need help with, like put them down below and we can hopefully answer them for you.
Absolutely. Again, guys, we are veteran claim experts. We are a general contractor that focuses on roofs. I've done roofs for 3 years. I know that's not a lot of time, but my crews, they probably got sick. You probably got like old man worth of time, probably 60 or 70 years of knowledge on your roof anytime we do a roof for you.
Absolutely.
So, you know, just because I don't know everything doesn't mean my crew doesn't know everything. So, but yeah, like I said, veteran claim experts, we are a general contractor. We want to help you guys out with your roof. Even if you don't have wind damage right now, if your roof looks a little messed up, if you think you're starting to see some fiberglass come through, maybe you think you might know where a leak is coming from or you can't figure it out. I don't care. Let's say you got your kid's toy stuck on their roof and you need somebody that's not going to charge you to come out and take a look. I'll come out there as long as you're within 50 miles of Salt Lake City. I'll come help you.